Hi, everybody. Jeepers, there's so many creeps and monsters here.
You're the cutest.
That thing's big enough for both of us to sit on.
We could, I mean.
Maybe two of you, but.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I love North Carolina. I made a record here a few years ago, and yeah.
Well, welcome back. So
Yeah,
one of the things I always like to ask is obviously you're very busy. You come to these conventions. You're here, you know, to meet new friends. Do you ever have the chance to actually get to explore the city?
At night, sometimes I have this app called Resi. I don't know if you know what it is, but if you love, like if you're a foodie, it's just, they won't steer you wrong. They have the best restaurants on there. So I just, it's like, you know, roulette. You just pick a restaurant and I Uber myself by myself. Sometimes people think I'm antisocial, but I just hug everybody and I talk to everybody all day and I expend a lot of energy. So at night I'm just like, and now I go into the shell and I don't want to talk to anybody but so I go by myself. People are like, you ate dinner alone? And I'm like, yes, and it was lovely. Anyway, so.
You need to decompress. That is totally fine.
Yeah.
So I guess to start, one of the things that I recently saw you post is that you are voicing Sandy's whole family in the Sandy Cheeks movie. Now, how many family members does Sandy have?
4. Well, Johnny Knoxville plays the other one, but I'm the other 4. So I play Ma Cheeks, who talks like the, oh, baby, we got to get you back to Texas. We missed you so much. And I play Granny Cheeks, who talks, oh, yeah, woohoo, Texas, yeah. And I play her little niece. She talks like this, and I play her little nephew. He talks like this. And yeah, and they're like a little circus family. They do all these little tricks. They're cute little trained squirrels. So it was supposed to just be Scratch, and I was like, I wonder who they're going to get to do all these parts. And then they were like, you, because we couldn't really find anybody else. So I was like, okay, you know.
It's so crazy, like getting to sit next to you and see you just like go from one voice to the next and it all coming out of the same body. It's absolutely insane. Growing up, were you always creating voices and imitating voices?
Yes, I was the weirdest little kid you ever met. And my grandmother raised me, so her friends would go, ay, pobrecita, she's so strange. You know, but I have ADHD, so I was just like, well, you know, just talking all the time and doing voices. And my grandma got me a boom box to kind of like harness my energy. I needed a helmet and a boombox. But no, I would just make like recordings into the boombox and talk to myself and then play it back on the other side. And I did my own little radio plays and stuff. So I didn't even know voiceover was a job that you could actually do. But I was doing it from the time I was little. I just didn't know what it was. But later on, I was in a little movie in high school, a Just Say No to Drugs movie called Don't Say Yes When You Really Mean No. And it was Nancy Reagan. I don't know if you guys are all young, but there was a President Reagan and his wife had this like anti-drug campaign. And yeah, so that was our video for that. And it was free at Blockbuster. That's how bad it was. It was like a free section. And I played Candy, the girl who talked like this, and she's like, let's just go do drugs, and like, let's just go to the party. What are you doing? You're such a dork, you know, and anyway, but I talked really fast, as you can see. And the director was always going, can you slow down? Can you slow down, please? We can't understand you. And, but then his friend was doing a commercial for Caboodle's beauty organizers. You know those plastic makeup things? Yes. Okay, so back in the 90s, or actually, no, it was like, it was like late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, so he said, I need somebody who can talk really fast to be the voice of this Caboodle's beauty organizers thing. And the guy goes, oh my God, the girl that's in our video she talks so fast. So they brought me over there and I did it without making any mistakes. And the guy was like, you could do this for a job. And I was like, well, they gave me like $600. And I was like, I could do this for a job. Because I had been saving all summer to buy a really crappy car. And that $600, like, I bought the car right then, and then I was able to fix it up with the money that I'd already saved, so.
Did you also get a caboodle? I hope you got a caboodle.
I got a caboodle. They gave me a caboodle. It was pink and turquoise and purple. Yes, it's amazing. I could see why you yeah. But anyway, yeah, so it was Caboodles, Miss Caboodles. That's what I was. And so then I was like, after college, I was like, if I could just do another one of those voice things, I could pay my rent. So I was doing stand-up at the time, and I did all these different impressions doing stand-up, and I did people that you wouldn't know because you're young, but I did Archie, you wanna be Gloria? You gotta give Mike a beer too. Ow! From All in the Family. It was an old show, and I did Anita Baker because she was like my favorite singer at the time. So I didn't understand what she was saying so I said, I'm humble just because I do. Anyway, so I loved her so much, and I would do her, and I just did I did the Wizard of Oz, where I was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. Annie, I'm Uncle Henry. I'm frightened. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I want to go home. And I was like, I just did the whole thing, the whole movie. And someone said you should. Well, Pauly Shore's mom.
Mitzi.
Yes, Mitzi Shore. So she had a comedy place called the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, and she was like, you do great impressions, but you should write some jokes, because I would just go up there and go, okay, so here's another voice. Okay, so here's another voice. And I didn't really have any jokes. So she's like, while you're writing your jokes, you should go do some cartoons. So I was like, oh, that seems like a fun thing to get into. And I have like a little experience doing voiceover. And I thought I could just get right into it, but no. It was really, really hard to get into. But I ended up getting into it. And then I left comedy. And then I've recently come back to comedy about 6 years ago. I made a comedy special that's on Amazon called My First Comedy Special. And then I put another one recently, last year, on YouTube called Thruple. And so they're really not safe for work jokes, but, they're there.
I love that you do it all. I mean, we have to mention the music as well. Like you said, you recorded here.
Yes.
So what are like the odds of like an overlap between getting to do your voice work and also singing? Is there a lot of overlap?
I do. I sing in cartoons a lot. Like if you watch Scooby-Doo and you saw the Hex Girls when Daphne did the Trap of Love. I did that, and I did when I played Black Canary, I did If Only He Could Know Me. My music people wanted to take the Music Meister thing off my Spotify, and I was like, you will make so many people mad. Do not take that off my Spotify. If anybody follows me on Spotify, I put out new music all the time, and I'm putting out a double album in September, and there's cartoon music on there, and there's regular music on there, and I just made 2 albums with the guy who writes all the music for SpongeBob. His name's Andy Paley, so he's like a legend. He's worked with like Jerry Lee Lewis and like the Ramones and everyone. He's amazing. But Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, he's an incredible producer. So anyway, we made 2 records together, and those are going to come out next year. But if you follow me on Spotify, you get a free sticker at my table, and you don't even have to wait in line. You can just come up to my person and show your phone or show me that you're following me on Spotify, and I'll grab you a sticker real quick so you can skip the line. But if you want to be in line to get an autograph, you have to wait in line. So I don't want anybody to don't get confused. But they're really cute stickers. So yeah,
epic. That's so great. Do you have to do different warm-ups when you go from like singing on a show versus like voice acting, or do you even do warm-ups anymore?
I don't do warm-up. I feel like such a bad example, but I never do warm-ups. I don't know. Like I drink a lot. I do all the things you're not supposed to do, like milk, cheese, and then I do all the things that you're not supposed to. And I've been on panels with other actors who are like, I do this warm-up and that warm-up, and I'm like, you do not. I work with you. You never do warm-ups. But I feel like people think that they should say that. Yeah. But they don't. They're lying to you.
Well, we appreciate the truth, Grey. Thank you for telling it like it is. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So obviously, one of my favorite things about GalaxyCon in general is I feel like we literally have the best cosplays in the galaxy. You guys look amazing, by the way. And this has to be so surreal for you to walk around. You see people dressed as your characters and other incredible loved characters as well. And I know you've done your fair share of dressing up.
Yeah.
So let's say that you had the opportunity to attend a GalaxyCon as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you cosplay as?
Well, I do play Catwoman in all the Arkham City games. Meow. I'm a very bad kitty. This place is dangerous. I like it. But my favorite Catwoman is Julie Newmar. So I had like a total Julie Newmar cosplay done, and I had photos taken and everything. So I'd probably wear my Julie Newmar cosplay because she's amazing. And we got our hair done by the same lady. Well, we still do. So she's like, I do Julie Newmar too. And I was like, that's my favorite Catwoman. I was like freaking out. I was like, what's she like? Is she nice? I mean, I was like, I really grilled the poor lady. But so anyway, she does both the Catwomans, all the Catwomans.
Serendipitous. I love it so much.
Yes.
Cool. So if it's all right with you,
Mm-hmm.
like I did mention, we have a microphone. If you guys want to line up, we're going to get to some questions from the crowd. So, all right. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Christine. I don't have a question. I just want to say hi. You're the coolest, and you do all the cool characters, and I'm sure you know.
Beg it, twerp.
So nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Nick. I was wondering, since yesterday was the 20th anniversary of Channel Chasers, if you had a favorite channel that Vicky went into?
There was a zombie thing, right? Wasn't there a zombie one? I think so. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember that's my favorite one, but I don't know. I loved that I just loved it. I thought it was such a clever idea to be able to go through all and please all the fans, every genre fan. So yeah, but I think Vicky would have liked the zombie one the best. Go to bed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Josie,
Hi, Josie.
have you ever met the live action cast of Avatar?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And Lizzie and I, well, she's gonna be here this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So we did. It was funny because I always like do my a little Azula crown at my table and everything. And she came up and we met each other. And then I was like, we got to do a video for Instagram. So I said, she's like, hi, I'm Elizabeth Yu and I play Azula on Avatar. And then I put my head in and I was like, don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player. And but the comments on it are so funny because they're like, oh my god, that cosplayer totally sounds like the cartoon Azula. I was like, it's me. Anyway, but yeah, so she's famous and I'm not, but that's fine.
Thank you.
Yes, they're
You're
awesome.
always famous in our hearts.
Aw, thank you.
Go
Hi.
ahead. What's your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Avery.
Hi, Avery.
Thank you so much for talking about your Spotify. I was originally going to ask about more music since I've heard Brave and the Bold. That is so cool. I had no idea that you were on there. That's going to be my evening.
Yes.
What I wanted to ask about instead is, for what it's worth, I actually only just watched through all of Avatar for the first time a few months ago, so people are still discovering it in 2024.
I just discovered it this year because I had never seen it. And then my 9-year-old was like, my friends say that I'm Azula's son. And I was like, yeah, you are. And he's like, well, can we watch? And my 17-year-old's like, oh my God, I got teased about that all the time. They were like, you're the spawn of Azula. Anyway.
But
He had never seen, my 17-year-old's still never seen it either. But my 10-year-old's like, well, I want to watch it. And I was like, okay, let's watch it together. I've never seen it either, so let's watch it. And I was like, oh my God, no wonder everybody loves this show. It's so good. I became a fan. Yeah.
I was kind of curious, since you've mostly been talking about a lot more comedic stuff, starting in the stand-up, which I will be definitely checking those specials out as soon as I can.
Get ready for they're dirty.
I am fine with that.
Okay, good.
So I was just kind of curious, how did you go about creating Azula's voice and that character, since she's so scary and malicious compared to the more goofier and wonderful stuff you've been talking about before in the panel?
Mm-hmm. Well, they were explaining how powerful she was, and I think a lot of the other actors kind of yelled and were like, like overplaying it. But I thought it's way creepier if I just really underplay everything. So the first speech that I had to do for my audition was, do the tides command this ship? Well, maybe worry less about the tides who've already made up their mind about killing you, and worry more about me, who's still mulling it over. I just thought, keep it really, because I think they said a lot of people were like, do the tides command this ship? They were yelling, and I thought, she doesn't need to yell. She's terrifying. Yeah. So that's why they picked me, I think.
It paid off. It's amazing. And like I said, I am an adult, and I'm still scared by it.
I know. At one point, my 9-year-old looked over to me, and he was like, he was like, Mom, you're scary. Yeah.
Great question. Really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a spank mom. I'm like a pretty easygoing mom. So I think he was like, wow, you have it in you if you ever wanted to.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Linda,
Hi, Linda.
and I am old enough to remember the original Scooby-Doo
Yes.
starting in 1970. I was a kid, and it was the best television show for a kid at the time.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to work with, I think it was
Heather.
Mary Kay?
Mary Kay was my predecessor and one of my best friends in the world. And so, but Heather North was the original Daphne, and she went to my church. So it was so funny. At one point, our pastor said, our church has the most Daphnes in all of Los Angeles. But yeah, she was a great piano player and wonderful lady. And then Mary Kay was my mentor and my teacher. And so it was so heartbreaking when she died because it rocked the entire industry. And she was just on everything. She was the boy in the Iron Giant, which she did there was a little boy in the movie, but she did most of the work in it. And she was, the singing Jessie the cowgirl, and she was Snow White, and she was just everything. And she was one of the most wonderful, lovely people in the world. And it's so funny. I feel like she helped. If you go to Disneyland on the Pirates of the Caribbean, I play Pirate Red. Yeah. It's the rum they want, don't they, boys? Quit your clacking. They want the rum. Anyway, so I didn't want to take over the Daphne role, but her husband was staying with me because he couldn't go back to their house. It was a real tragedy. If I don't want to go into it, but if
Right.
you look it up. But it was a terrible time. And he was like, Gray, you should audition. And I was like, no, I'm not going to audition. I can't even. There was a tape going around of all her voices, and I was like, oh my God, this is tragedy. That's when I kind of decided I love my job, but I'm going to nurture my family because, it had been 2 days or something, and they were already looking for the next person to take over. And I was like, oh my gosh, she gave her heart and soul to this business, and then it's just like the world must go on. I get it, but I just thought this is not my whole life. This is just a really amazing opportunity, and I love these. I love meeting people. But anyway, but he said you should read it because she would have wanted you to have it because she taught you everything. She taught me how to voice match. She taught me everything. And so I didn't listen to the tape, but I went in there and I read it, and I knew her so well. So but the engineer and the director said, we got goosebumps, Gray. It was like she was in the room. And then later on, I went to a medium. Sorry, things are about to get weird. Okay. So I went to a medium, and this was only about 5 years ago. And he goes, I don't know what your job is, but it's a really weird job. And there was a woman that used to do your job, but she's on the other side now. And I was like, okay. And I started getting goosebumps. And he goes, yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, it was a very tragic. And he started going into all the details. And I was like, and he goes, and she's handing you this little plant, and in your hands, it's grown into this big, giant plant. Do you understand that? And I was like, yes. Oh my gosh. And he goes, she just wants to tell you how proud she is of you and how much she loves you. And I was just like, oh my God. And Russi Taylor had just passed a few days before that. And he said, there's another lady who does the same weird job, and she just got there, and she says you're going to do that for her, too. And I was like, oh, my gosh, and I ended up taking over Martin Prince for The Simpsons for Russi. And so I feel like I've got a little red-haired angel on one shoulder and a little blonde-haired angel on my other shoulder. Everywhere I go, I just feel like they're with me. Whenever I do any jobs, whenever I have a question, I'm like, Russi, what would you do? Mary Kay, what would you do? I'm always trying to but they're always with me. And so anyway, so the Pirate Red job, that should have been Mary Kay's because she was a redhead. She loved Pirates of the Caribbean was her favorite ride ever in the world. And so when I was at the audition, I felt her, because I was at Disney Character Voices when I was auditioning, and that was her home. She was Snow White. She was all these Disney voices. So I said, Mary Kay, this is your home. I was like, you should be here. This should be your job. And I said, but if you have any advice for me, let me know. And so I felt like her saying, you should prepare more, because I always just show up and go, it'll be fine. I'm just going to wing it. I really kind of don't do my homework as much as I should. And Mary Kay used to do so much preparation and learn all the accents and learn all this stuff. So I was feeling her saying you should do some pirate character study stuff. So I was like, but there's only one line. It's it literally was one line. It was they want the rum, don't they, boys? That was the line. So I was like, well, how much, anyway, I thought, well, I'll learn some. So I learned all this pirate slang because I was waiting in the lobby for 30 minutes. It was taking a long time. So I learned cackle fruit is eggs, and there was just all these funny little pirate slang things. So I got in there, and they're like, hey, yeah, so we know it's only just one line, so we're just gonna have you improv for a while, just as much as you can. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much, Mary Kay, because what would I do with the one line? I wouldn't have known what to do. So I brought out all the slang, and for 30 minutes I had a different pirate slang thing, and they were like, oh my gosh. They're like, you know so much about pirates. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm just kind of I'm just a pirate lady. But yeah, and so that's why I think that's why I gave me the part. So thanks to Mary Kay. Yeah. So that was a long-ass answer. Oh, sorry. Long-winded answer. Sorry. Okay. Poor lady. She was like, I'm going to sit down now. My legs are tired. From your answer wore me out. Hi. What's your name?
Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Hey, I've been a huge fan of yours pretty much my entire life.
Yeah.
And
You're in Tyler life.
yes, my entire
Nice.
life.
I love a pun.
And you have all kinds of characters under your belt. So does it ever just blow your mind at the fact that you voice characters like Azula, an absolute psychopath, and
I was
also,
right.
but you've also voiced harmless bundles of joy like Wubsy.
Yes. Wow, everybody. Welcome to Wesselberg.
I mean, does that fact ever just blow your mind?
I saw a meme about me. It was funny because it was a bunch of my characters. Did you know the same person played all these characters? And it was Emily Elizabeth from Clifford. Clifford, where are you? And Azula and Sam from we would go ghost together all the time on Danny Phantom. And anyway, but I looked at it and was like, oh wow. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's me. It was kind of funny. It's I didn't know that. Oh, I did know that. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's just I've been doing it for 30 years, so it's been a long time. Yeah, so yeah, there's been a long time to do things.
Out of curiosity, like, do you know what's the most amount of different characters you've had to play in like one recording day?
Well, on the Loud House, they just keep giving me parts on that show. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I could do any more parts. I mean, I play Lola, the little sister who has the little princess crown, and I play Lily, the baby, and I play Lana, the one that works on the cars, and I play Scoot, the little old lady on the scooter, and I play Cheryl, who works in the office. Kids, Principal Huggins needs to talk to you. And I play Mrs. Bernardo, the acting teacher, who's very, very dramatic. And I play Coach Keck, who's like, kids, come on here, give us some sit-ups. Get out there and do your exercises. And I do the lady she's one of the kids' mother. I don't know. She's like into a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff, and she's very into like aliens and stuff. I mean, like I do so many. I'm just like, don't give me any more. I can't handle it. I need a lot of accents. You know, I have to throw a lot of accents or a speech impediment on something, and it'll change it up.
You're everything. All right, what's your name?
I'm Jordan, and my question is, if Azula ran for president, what would be her presidential slogan?
Oh my goodness. Lightning. I'll show you lightning. And then after she got elected, she would say, "You miscalculated. You should have feared me more." Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's the VP?
Oh gosh, Ty Lee, of course. I could boss her around. My own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt. I would have free mental health care for everyone.
Love that. Important. Hey, what's your name?
Ben,
Hi, Ben.
my question is this. Do you think Mandy and Wednesday Addams would become good friends?
Well, Mandy probably only has room in her life for one best friend, Billy, and he's so annoying, you know. So I might be like, okay, nice to her or whatever, but I don't have room in my life for more than Grim and Billy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Good
no
question.
problem. I wrote a song called "I Missed You," and it's about a woman who tries to run her husband over with a Cadillac. But it's like, but I got the line from Mandy because the chorus is, "I missed you, but my aim is improving." You know. So anyway, and that's a Mandy line.
Hey, go ahead. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Leland. That's nice. What is one of your weirdest or most fun memories of something that just happened in the booth that was either really weird or just really fun?
Butch Hartman lets us improv a lot with things, so I had Vicky had a boyfriend called Ricky, and there's a band called Steely Dan. It's an old 70s band, but they have a song called "Ricky, Don't Lose That Number." So I give him my phone number as he's leaving, and then I just, as a joke, just was like, "Ricky, don't lose that number. You don't gotta call nobody else. Send it off in a letter to yourself." Anyway, but that was all just a line from a Steely Dan song, but Butch said I could keep it in, so that was kind of a funny little thing. Hi.
Go ahead. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Bo, and I just want to say that Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my favorite TV shows ever, and I still think, like, almost 20 years after release, it still stands to this day. And my question is, so obviously, you know, I don't want to spoil the story for those who haven't seen it, but Azula is the villain of the story, and I still, like, don't think that she could have ever had the chance to redeem herself. Like, she had multiple chances and she didn't take it, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that Azula has any redeeming qualities, if any?
She's pretty.
Yeah. I agree.
I was a lot of people's gay awakening, I will say. Those little tendrils. Gosh, I feel bad. I just have a lot of empathy for her. Like, even when I had the breakdown, I started sobbing in the booth because I felt so bad for her, just to have a father who was a narcissist who pitted me against my brother. There were some tender moments between my brother and I when we were back at our childhood home on Ember Island, and I think Lady needed some medicine, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like as a people pleaser myself, I felt like she definitely needed to find.
I was
some
a people
help.
pleaser and a people person.
Thank you
Very
so much.
punctual.
for
I was
bringing-
punctual. That was one thing that was good about me.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, she just cares. You know, and she knows what she wants and she goes after it. So.
Since you can't see me, I should tell you I'm rolling my eyes.
Thank you so much.
Hey, what's your name?
Eddie,
Hi, Eddie.
how y'all doing today? I noticed that you mentioned about Emmy Elizabeth and Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yes.
So, do you have any story, any takeaway stories, or any experience stories about acting or voice acting with the late great John Ritter?
Oh my gosh, I love. Well, my son is named Tex after Tex Ritter, who was John Ritter's father, and I just love John Ritter. And then also Jason Ritter, his son. I didn't even know that was his son, and I thought he was like one of the engineers at the studio because we were sitting there talking for like an hour, and I thought, what a sweet engineer. I wonder what show he works on, and it was Jason Ritter. And then later on, I found him on Twitter, and I was like, I didn't know that was you, and your dad was so special to me. And he told me how he proposed to his wife. He put the engagement ring on his toe, and he was in their pool, and he was like, "Ow, ow, oh God, I stepped on something." Oh, and she was like, "What's going on?" And she was in the pool, and then she's like, "Oh my God!" And he lifted his foot out, and then the ring was on his toe, and I just thought that was so funny. It was such a John Ritter thing. He was just such a goofball and a fun guy. And so later, and he used to go on and on about his wife Amy, how much he loved her. And so I ended up meeting her much later after he had passed. And I was like, hi. We were in line at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. And I was like, I don't mean to be a weird like stalker or something. And I'm not. I was like, but I used to work with your husband. And, and she was like, oh my God, he totally talked about you. And so we hugged and we ended up staying friends. So we're still friends. Yeah. But he was a doll. And my grandmother didn't like that he had a beard. Because my grandma was like, she felt like people that had beards were like running from the law, which I thought was really funny. And so she was like, he didn't look the same as he did on Three's Company when she met him. So she was like, oh, you are John Ritter? You are John Ritter? Oh, you look so different. You have that beard. And she's like, so he's up to something, Mika. He's up to something. I don't know what. But anyway, so I was like, he's not up to anything. He's really nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
And now Amy runs the John Ritter Foundation too. Yeah.
I know. She's just lovely and stunningly beautiful. Yeah.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Logan.
Hi, Logan.
As a huge Scooby-Doo fan, what was your favorite time that you played Daphne? Like a movie or series specifically, maybe?
My favorite Daphne stuff was, well, I loved being Scooby Natural. That was really fun. And also my favorite show was Mystery Incorporated. That's my favorite Daphne show. Yeah, it was just so weird. And Velma had a girlfriend and, like Hot Dog Water. I don't know if you remember Velma's girlfriend, Hot Dog Water. But it was just such a weird, goofy thing. Yeah, loved it. Thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, my name's Mari.
Hi, Marley.
I love you so much. In the Fairy Odd Parents, I know the episode when Vicky got turned into a kid and Timmy became her babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
What would you wish for if Cosmo and Wanda were your Fairy Odd Parents?
Oh my gosh. I want to fly like they do because I fly every weekend for work and I love being here so much, but I have 3 children who I miss so much and I would like to just like cut my flying time down by, and not have to do all the check-in and everything because it's like more time with my family. So, yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ooh. Don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Zaina.
Hi.
I wanted to ask what was the trickiest or funniest or most interesting audition you ever had?
The weirdest audition?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Huh. Well, I can't think of a weird audition experience, but there was a weird recording experience. There's a terrible Christmas special out there called Rap City Street Kids. Have you ever on? It is so. I think it was run by Scientology or something. It's so bad. And we recorded it, and I was like, why is there were huge people in it too. I'm like, how did we all get roped into this? But it was in someone's garage that they recorded it, and the director was standing closer than you are, right here. And usually the director's behind glass in another booth, so they direct you over the headphones. But he was standing there right in my face, and he would go and action, and he would point his finger in my face, and I'm just and I was doing the lines with his finger in my face. It was very weird. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you.
for Azula because I love her as terrifying as she is.
Oh, thank you. Yes, my own mother thought I was a monster. She was right.
All right, we got about 10 minutes left. Go ahead. What's your name?
My name is Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
I have a question on behalf of my little brother.
Okay.
He is a huge fan of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, whatever. He's one of those idiots that
And
Billy
his
likes to hang
question
out with.
I'm very sorry. His question is, do you think Billy and Mandy deserved an ending?
Oh gosh. Well, yeah. Did it get cut off too early? Did they cancel it before it could really wrap up? I don't think I know about that.
You can never have enough Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, like for Mandy, it was when the world fell off its axis when I sang that song. So I think I got my ending.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hello. So, I've been a huge fan since I watched Wow Wow Wubsy, The Fairly Odd Parents, Clifford, and I have a question. What was like your favorite character that you voiced so far, and your favorite song from The Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh gosh. My Shiny Teeth and Me was my favorite song.
Mine too. My shiny teeth in me, shiny teeth.
Yes, and I've met Chip Skylark. I mean, I've met the guy who played him. You know,
Yeah.
I
He was
got
from the
Chris
NSYNC band.
Chris Kirkpatrick. Yeah, we've taken a lot of pictures together. So.
Nice.
Yeah, and my favorite role that I've done is Azula, of course. Because
Nice. Good choice.
So yeah, very very well written and just just it was a tour de force. Yeah.
Thank you.
And also Delilah Briarwood, if any critical role people out there. Yes, I
Ooh.
love Delilah as well. I broke the world for you. Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Bienvenidos. My name is Wally. I gotta ask, what I guess from your lesser known shows like say, Batman: The Brave and the Bold. What's your favorite moment or song?
Well, I love If Only, and I loved playing Black Canary. She's very powerful, and I love her. It's a little bit close to my Catwoman voice, but a little stronger. Catwoman's a little bit more like that. Yes. Good to see you, Wally.
It is an honor, madame.
Yes,
Just
did you bring it? Yeah.
I changed it. It's
I love
Superboy this time.
I love
Young
it.
Justice.
Yes. Woo!
Let's go!
Love it.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Finnegan. First of all, thank you so much for being here.
So happy to be here.
This is such a great day for me. You've played so many, you have a very prolific career, and you've voiced many iconic characters. But my question is, which character did you enjoy really doing that you feel is a bit underappreciated?
I love being Queen Moon on Star versus the Forces of Evil. Didn't even watch that show, yes. And I also played Jackie Lynn Thomas on that show, and she was like really cool, like skateboarder girl. But yes, Queen Moon was so much fun and so well written, and I got to lose my memory and go after my daughter and all kinds of things.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What's your name?
It's a sharp outfit. Sharp enough
Thank
to
you.
capture the hull of an Empire-class Fire Nation battleship, leaving thousands to drown at sea because it's so sharp.
My name is Dre, but working as Catwoman and like working in the Batman series and stuff like that, working with Kevin Conroy, how was all of that like?
The funny thing is, I had been playing Catwoman for 10 years before I ever met Kevin.
Wow.
And we met doing a panel together at a con. And they were like, "You're doing a panel today with Kevin Conroy." And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Wow, have you not seen him in a long time?" And I was like, "Ever. I've never met him." And so when we sat there, I was just like, I had got to tell the audience, this is the first time we've ever met. So I was like, "Now you're mine, baddie." I miss him so much. What a wonderful person. Yeah.
He was good. Thank you though.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi. So you have experience working with Cartoon Network, Disney, and Nickelodeon. Was there a different air working for each studio, or is it pretty much you just record your lines and then that's just it?
Was there a different what? We would do
Like a different atmosphere in each corporation.
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, I can't even choose who I was there from the beginning of Cartoon Network. I remember when they first built the studio, and then they just recently closed it. It was so sad. Yeah, I mean, I would eat my lunch near there every day, and it was such a great studio. I felt so embarrassed. There was a waiter that used to wait on me all the time at my lunch hour, and I went there recently with my son, who's 17. and much more socially aware than I am. Sometimes I just talk and I'm not thinking about what I'm talking about. And so the guy came and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, you've been here for 20 years. You've been waiting on me for 20 years. That's so cool. Like I just, I used to come here and have my lunch. I started out my career down there at Cartoon Network, and now like I'm a mother of like, he's going off to college and you're still here. That's awesome. And then he walked away. My son was like, oh my God, Mom, you just like highlighted the fact that he's been working here for 20 years as a waiter. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. What a terrible. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, he was an actor too. So I was like, how's the acting going in Texas? Like, and then you had to put the cherry on top with how's the acting going? Not well. He's waiting on you. And I was like, oh God. Anyway, but I loved Cartoon, but I love Nickelodeon too, and like they raised me too, and I'm still working there. My studio recently broke. I was working from home, but now I have to go there every week for the Loud House. So I'm doing it there. And then also some of the SpongeBob stuff. But it's so amazing working at Nickelodeon now because all the interns are like 25 or whatever. They're just out of college and they're like, oh my God, you're my childhood. I can't believe it. And so I'm finally getting the recognition I deserve at Nickelodeon. No, it's just fun to go work with people who actually know who the heck you are, Yeah. Yeah. And Disney's awesome too. Yeah. I played Laura on The Weekenders. Remember The Weekenders? Later Days. Yeah. So it was fun being at Disney. Thank you, Carla.
All right, these are going to be the final 4 questions.
Okay,
Here we go.
final
What's your
4.
name?
There's Wolverine. Okay, Will.
Oh my gosh. She would bend farts at all of you. And just
I don't know. That would be the only kind of airbending that Azula would do because she's that evil. Thank you, Will.
Thank you for the visual. No, it's fine. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, Carrie. Azula or who?
Oh gosh. Oh, Azula probably. Lola is very pretty and very competitive and everything, but she does make a lot of silly mistakes. Sorry. No, I don't make mistakes. Everyone else miscalculates, but I don't. I should have been Fire Lord. I'm still bitter about it.
All right, what's your name? Right into the mic, just so we can hear you a little bit better. It's off. Okay.
Danny Phantom, because my mom made me watch it because it was.
That's a good mother. That's a really good mother.
It. It was so funny watching you do like the insult in the second episode. Yeah. Like, what was it? It was like, you're so shallow. What my feet aren't wet.
Yeah, like you're so shallow. I'm standing here and my feet aren't even wet, or something like that. Yeah,
and,
that's so good.
And me and my brother, we would play. We would watch on a disc whenever we were on trips. We'd watch Pirates of Hawaii over and over again until it stopped working.
Oh my gosh!
It was
you have really good parents.
It was very fun.
Really good parents. Yeah, I really wish they would bring Danny Phantom back. They should do Dan Phantom, where Sam and Danny are married and like our kids are getting into all kinds of trouble in the ghost world.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool.
I guess Butch can't get the rights back to Danny Phantom because like Nickelodeon owns it. And I was like, let's just change the names a little bit and like I'll do the same voice and here we are. I'll be Sandy Manson and he can be, Donnie Phantom.
Sure, yeah.
I was like, we could do it under parody law.
Well, that's all. Bye.
There you go. Doctor Who? No.
Final question, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Gina.
Hi, Gina.
First off, I want to thank you for voicing basically my entire childhood. And my question is, if you were to go back in time to the start of your career before you became one of the most renowned voice actors of all time, what is one thing that you would say to yourself?
Gosh. Well, I waited tables and I did singing telegrams and I was a hostess and I cleaned houses all at the same time for a while. And I think I would have told myself like just hang in there, you're gonna get a good part and you're not gonna have to do all these. But I mean Yeah, I remember driving to an audition. You know, I used to have to I didn't have a car, so I would have to take the bus with my cleaning stuff, which was just like the most it's the worst.
It's very
And then
inconvenient.
and then I worked for a cleaning service, so I wouldn't even get all the money. Like they would take most of the money, and I would get like $30 for cleaning an entire house. Anyway, but I was like complaining to myself about having to drive a long way for this job, like to Santa Monica, which is about an hour away from my house. And I was like, ugh, and here I am in my nice car with my iced coffee, and I'm driving, and I'm like, ugh, I can't believe I have to. And then I looked over at the bus stop, and there was a lady there with all of her cleaning stuff, and I felt like it was like God going, hello, you have a great life. Why don't you shut up? So I just was like, you know what? You should be happy to be driving for an hour and listening to my podcast. And, I feel so grateful for not having to clean houses anymore because it's the worst. Anyway, but yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
This was so much fun, you guys. Yes. I'm going to be back at my table 4:30.
And if it's okay with you, before we do wrap it up, we're going to take a big group picture with everyone. Is that okay, Greg?
I would
that we take
love
a big
it.
group
Yes.
picture?
And I'll see you back at the table at 4:30. And if you follow me on Spotify, come get a free sticker.